Hi, Eugene Clifford here from BEARHAWK. Currently down here in Tiger Mountain in Sydney, Australia, where I just recently relocated from Native Falls, Minnesota. And I've just put the final touches to new BEARHAWK song, All in the Zoo. Inspiration behind All in the Zoo came from, we have our harp player, her name's Angela Fife Yeomans, and we have the fortnightly recital at her house where she plays her harp, and we have a little bit of a cocktail party, and I was mixing up one of BEARHAWK's signature cocktails, which is called the Leaping Lizard, and I was putting it together, and one of the key ingredients is creme de menthe, and she put, for some reason, bleach inside the creme de menthe bottle. So I chucked in what I thought was creme de menthe was bleach. So I downed this cocktail, it was great, and I started freaking out. I had this bleach hallucinations. And I really started freaking out, man. I went out in the backyard and passed out, and I was seeing the periodic table and shit, and all the symbols and stuff. And then all these animals came out to me. There was ants with lions' heads, and there was giraffes with ducks' feet, and they were all talking to me and shit like that. And it was really, really bizarre. It was a real chemical kind of a nightmare. And all of a sudden I ended up in this cage. I had monkey arms, and I'm in this cage, and I had enough bananas to keep me, but it was I was locked in there. And then suddenly I was transported to an Indian call center, and I'm inside this call center working in the call center with monkey arms answering the phones and shit. And I just really freaked out, but I had this vision of what it feels like to be in a zoo, and it's humans are in zoos every day, in call centers, in takeaway cafes, in office blocks around the country. I would know that because I've worked a day in my life. But I really felt what it feels like to be in a human zoo. So the bleach hallucination wore off after a while, and I still had constant eye twitching. It was just, it would not stop, and I was like that the whole time. But anyway, throughout that process, I came up with We're All in the Zoo, and you can find that track on myspace.com/WeAreBearHawk, and that you can hear that there. As far as other things going with BEARHAWK, we are hoping to release our 187th album in the Company of Kings in the fall. The record company wanted to release a box set, but they had physical limitations because they would need to bring in a Chet palette of discs, and the actual physical limited time you have to listen to all of BEARHAWK's back catalog, and all of the other bands that I've been in, like Box of Bees, Scorpion's Tail, all those other bands. The total running time of every album, if you put it together, is something like 89 years if you listen to the whole thing. So they have to scale it back a little bit. So now I've got about 740 albums in the box set, and hopefully that'll come out next spring. So we're all looking forward to that. But yeah, check out Zoo. It's one of the newer tracks. It's one of the tracks that I think is keeping in line with the this sort of boho movement that's coming out of New York and Berlin. We're really sort of keeping up with. Well, I never keep up with anything. I'm always innovating. So I'm ahead of so I'm 6 months ahead in time of what people are doing. So I don't have a time machine, but in my mind, I have a time machine. So I'm kind of going backwards and forwards to 6 months from now, a year from now. 2011 is going to be pretty cool. I mean, there's going to be a lot of instrumental music that has come out of Marishikesh. There's going to be a huge wave of sort of neo-boho, sort of real hipster style stuff coming out of there. They don't actually use instruments in Marishikesh. They just use sand. They just chuck sand onto a kind of conveyor belt, and then the frequencies they convert that into a musical note, and then that they're developing shit's going to come out of Marishikesh. It's going to blow people's minds. But you heard that first from BEARHAWK. I'm going to go to Marishikesh in the next month or so to sort of really capture what they're doing there, and the sort of what's going on in the towns, and I'm really looking forward to working with sand. So that'll be great, and stay tuned.